Caitlin Clark is already excited about her new coach in Indianapolis. The young WNBA star sang the praises of new Indiana Fever coach and Purdue women's basketball icon Stephanie White in an appearance on the Bird and Taurasi show during the 2025 NCAA Women's Basketball National Championship game. During Sunday's title game between number 1 seed South Carolina and number 2 seed UConn, Clark spoke with former WNBA stars Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird during their special broadcast of the game. When talking about White, Clark raved about her basketball IQ and ability to lead the Fever to new heights. "She is one of the smartest basketball minds I've ever been around," Clark said during the show. "Everybody admires her and the way she coaches, the way she leads. I'm excited to learn from her." Indiana made a change at head coach following the 2024 season, parting ways with Christy Sides and hiring White in the offseason. It will be White's second run as the head coach of the Fever, previously serving in the role from 2015-16. White was also a member of the Fever's staff from 2011-14 under coach Lynn Dunn. She was part of the team that claimed a WNBA championship in 2012. The former Purdue superstar returns to Indianapolis after spending the past 2 seasons as the coach of the Connecticut Sun. There's a lot of optimism surrounding the franchise entering the 2025 campaign, with Clark entering her second season. As a rookie, Clark averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game, leading Indiana to its first WNBA playoff appearance since 2016. She set a number of league records during her first year as well. Indiana also returns key pieces such as Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hall from last year's team. The Fever were also incredibly active during the offseason, signing Sophie Cunningham, DeWanna Bonner, Sydney Colson, and Brianna Turner. White is inheriting a team that could compete for a WNBA championship. In her 4 years as a WNBA head coach, 2 with the Fever and 2 with the Sun, White has accumulated a 92-56 record. She has led her teams to the playoffs every season, including a trip to the WNBA Finals in 2015 with the Fever. In 2023, White was named the WNBA Coach of the Year. Before becoming a coach, White was a star basketball player at Purdue and was a member of the 1999 National Championship team. She was also the winner of the Wade Award. The Honda Sports Award, was an All-American selection, and was named Big Ten Athlete of the Year. With the 2025 WNBA season rapidly approaching, Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark opened up about the state of the Fever locker room, which was subject to major scrutiny from the outside last season. In September 2024, WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops implied without any evidence that very significant players on Indiana's roster did not want to be there because of the attention, and at times extreme criticism, that followed Clark during her rookie year. "All we heard that whole week was like, Indiana, they don't get along." Retired Phoenix Mercury guard Diana Taurasi recalled about the narratives circling before her meeting with the Fever last season. Clark joined Taurasi and Sue Bird on their ESPN show on Sunday during the NCAA Women's Basketball National Championship game, where she set the record straight about the rumored locker room issues. "I think it's just something you become used to," the 23-year-old said of the fabricated media narratives the team faced in 2024. "People think they know what's going on inside of your locker room, and they just don't," Clark said clearly. "At the end of the day, it's just the girls that you have in there and obviously the coaching staff, and that's all that matters." Indiana's flurry of off-season moves to build the organization around Clark have resulted in a number of fresh faces coming into the 2025 season. They include new coach Stephanie White and WNBA veterans like DeWanna Bonner, Sydney Colson, and Natasha Howard, plus whoever the Fever select in next week's WNBA draft. The new group will need to build chemistry before the Fever's first exhibition games, which are less than a month away on May 3rd and 4th. Training camp begins April 27th. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark enjoyed an incredible overall rookie season. However, she did deal with technical foul trouble. Clark recorded 6 technical fouls last season, falling just one short of an automatic 1-game suspension. In 2025, the Fever guard is looking to limit her technical fouls, something she discussed during a recent appearance on the Bird and Taurasi show. "This year, I already told Steph, Fever head coach Stephanie White, 2, max," Clark said. The Fever would love to see Clark have 2 or less technical fouls as compared to 6. It remains to be seen if Clark's vow will come to fruition, but she is clearly determined to commit less technical fouls in 2025. Clark's 2025 outlook is bright overall. She played at a high level in her rookie season en route to taking home the WNBA Rookie of the Year award. Clark should have an opportunity to take another step in the right direction during the upcoming campaign. The 23-year-old averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per outing in 2024. She also shot 41.7% from the field and 34.4% from beyond the arc. Clark would surely like to improve her shooting efficiency, but she played well overall last season. Clark silenced her doubters with her performance. Heading into 2025, there are people around the WNBA world who believe she can win the MVP this season. Aja Wilson is still the best player, and she will surely be among the favorites to win the award. Perhaps Clark can make things interesting, though. Regardless of whether or not she wins the MVP, Clark is on track to have a big year. The Fever improved their roster, which could lead to even more opportunities for Clark to make a significant impact. Caitlin Clark's technical foul vow. When it comes to technical fouls, though, it will be intriguing to see if Clark can stay under her 2 prediction. Playing with passion is important. Receiving a 1-game suspension does not help the team, however. Clark avoided the suspension last year, but she came extremely close to receiving it. Perhaps that is part of the reason why she wants to drastically decrease her technical foul number in 2025. A lot of talk around the Indiana Fever's successful offseason has been predicated on the players they brought on board to turn this team into a 2025 WNBA championship contender. And rightfully so, as it's ultimately the players who dictate the outcome of games. But amid all these massive roster additions, it's easy to forget that the Fever also hired a new head coach earlier on in the offseason. In fact, it feels like Stephanie White has been a member of this team for years, and she has in many ways, given that she both played and coached for the Fever in the past. Given how great of a fit she seems for this team, it's clear that there's a ton of mutual respect between White and star guard Caitlin Clark. And during her guest appearance on ESPN's Bird and Taurasi show, which was part of the 2025 NCAA National Championship game broadcast, Clark sent a powerful message about her new head coach. Stephanie White is one of the smartest basketball minds I've ever been around. Everybody admires her and the way she coaches, the way she leads. I'm excited to learn from her, Clark said, per a post from the Indiana Fever's X account. Given that Clark has spent this offseason in Indianapolis preparing for the upcoming season, there's no question that she and White have already been acclimating to each other, both on and off the court. And Fever fans are champing at the bit to see how this connection translates once the season begins. Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark is the newest guest on David Letterman's show. My next guest needs no introduction. Letterman, the former talk show host and Indianapolis native, handpicks his guests for each episode. Previous guests have included former President Barack Obama, Miley Cyrus, Charles Barkley, Kevin Durant, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, among others. Here's what happened on Clark's episode. How to watch Caitlin Clark appear on David Letterman's show. The episode premiered on Netflix on April 8th. You will need a subscription to the streaming service to watch. The episode starts out with Clark and Letterman heading to Long's Bakery, a donut shop staple on the near west side of Indianapolis. As people inside the shop immediately recognize the pair, Letterman offers to pay for everybody's orders. Fans take pictures with Clark and Letterman. It then shifts to the sit-down interview Clark and Letterman did on Ball State's campus in Muncie, which was part of the school's David Letterman Distinguished Professional Lecture and Workshop Series. The talk in November was open to those who could claim tickets, but they were required to put their phones in protective cases. Now the talk is open to everyone around the world.